I am Tong, born into a nautical family. I lived with my mom while my dad sailed the seas. Mom was a dedicated woman. She spent most of her time caring for us and took on handmade work at home to make ends meet. I didn't often see my dad, but when he returned, he filled my imagination with stories about the ocean and life at sea. Lacking a father figure, I found joy in practicing kung fu with trainers who felt like father figures. They taught me not only the physical aspects of health and self-defense but also the importance of being a responsible man in society and in the family. Sometimes, I stumbled in my training, but those father-like trainers would gently pat my shoulder and say, "Fear not. Just go." These words became like a metal etched in my heart forever. My journey in Kung Fu eventually led me to a career in film production, where I became an action film instructor and later a director. I designed and taught action sequences, ensuring both safety and effectiveness. But most importantly, they brought you, a sacrificing wife, a memory I cherish deeply. I hold in my hands the memories of decades spent with you, hands that once taught actors to fight on screen but could never combat the one thing tearing you away from me, cancer. It's a word I can barely say, let alone accept. You were just 17 when you first stepped into the spotlight, a bright and cheerful girl with dreams that lit up the screen. Even then, you were fiercely dedicated, pouring your heart into every role. You turned down invitations from wealthy suitors and shunned the partying lifestyle that surrounded you, opting instead for a quiet integrity that set you apart in an industry often defined by excess. You chose not to be chosen, and in that choice, you found someone special, me. You engaged me in conversation, even when the topics weren't significant, and your natural warmth drew me in like a moth to a flame. I remember the day we met on set, my heart racing as I stumbled over my words, shy and inarticulate. I didn't talk much beyond the essentials of shooting, feeling my insecurity bubble beneath the surface. Your curiosity drew you closer, and your laughter filled the air, cutting through my nervousness. I was captivated by your spirit and beauty, but my defenses crumbled under your infectious enthusiasm. I felt insecure about falling in love with you, as you were a recognized movie star with a bright future ahead. It wasn't just my own doubts, others believed I didn't deserve to be your partner. I was just an action movie instructor, an ordinary man in a world filled with extraordinary talent. Yet, despite it all, your persistence melted my barriers, and we became lovers, two souls intertwined, each finding solace in the other's presence. After years of sharing and understanding during our dating, I came to realize that you had a family history of hearing difficulties. You sometimes had strong arguments with me, and almost every time, I gave in just because I loved you. But there were moments when the stakes were high, and I couldn't bend. As a responsible man, I knew your faults were my faults, and your suffering weighed heavily on my shoulders. In those moments, you stopped fighting, and I felt the control I had to protect you, the control you always knew I would wield. It was clear to me that I wanted to protect you, no matter how small the issue seemed. In turn, you felt a sense of security in our relationship that no other man could provide. When we married, you made a choice that many wouldn't understand. You traded the spotlight for a tranquil life in Canada, embracing motherhood and the home we built together. I admired your unwavering commitment as you learned about household responsibilities and caring for our baby. In our new life in Canada, we engaged in endless conversations about new experiences, new neighbors, and the adventures that lay ahead. Together, I held your hand as we attended classes, learning English from the ground up. I held your hand in the supermarket, guiding you as we connected with the community around us. Happy times passed quickly, and our son grew up before our eyes. Yet, I knew better than anyone that the ambition within you had not dimmed. When we returned to our home country to visit family, an unexpected invitation to act appeared. I could see the excitement in your eyes. You longed to return to the stage where you belonged, even though the years had changed you. Your hearing difficulties made the journey back feel daunting, but I promised to be your guiding stick. I stood by your side as your devoted husband and interpreter, helping you navigate the world of sound that sometimes eluded you. Fear not. Just go. As you stepped back into the limelight, your old friends rushed to greet you. I realized that you were not forgotten. Your shine on stage still burned brightly in their memories. Even young actors from a different era showed you deep respect by bowing. No one treated you as an unrecognized actress, and I felt a heavy rock lift from my heart. I knew you had made the right decision to return to the stage where you truly belonged. As I promised, I never left you alone during filming. I paid close attention to those speaking to you, interpreting messages that might elude you. I saw your extreme joy in being yourself, a joy you had longed for. In that moment, your sacrifice of leaving the stage filled me with shame and guilt. It deepened my love and care for you. Your fire for acting ignited brighter than ever before, having been hidden in the darkness for decades. It was time for you to shine on set again. Your films, highly praised, came one after another, and you won the award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. It was touching when you honored my support while accepting the award on stage. Everything seemed amazing for you in your later years, however, it was good for your dreams but not for your health. I noticed the invisible pressures creeping in, heavy and relentless. Your health began to falter. I knew it was cruel to urge you to prioritize your well-being, dimming your light on stage once again. You always stopped fighting me when you acknowledged that I had the control to protect you, and you listened to me. The pain twisted in your body relentlessly after you announced your retirement due to health issues. It was a torment that plunged us into darkness when you were later diagnosed with cancer. You wept in silence, a sorrow I secretly witnessed. I wept too, though no one could see, feeling the weight of your pain pierce my heart. Every time I witnessed you wince in pain, it felt like a knife twisting in my chest. I promised to protect you, guide you, and love you. I had always fulfilled that promise, but with this cancer, I felt completely collapsed, losing control over your safety. I had been your interpreter, your caretaker, your rock, but in this moment, I felt powerless. I had never left you alone, your hand had always been in mine when we went out. Yet now, I held no hand while you lay in pain in bed. When our neighbors noticed your absence by my side, I nodded in silence and walked past, my smile vanishing. Each day, I thought of preparing easy-to-swallow meals or soups for you. While those gestures didn't alleviate your pain, they were my way of being there for you. In the darkness, I began to wonder who would be mine when you were gone. The thought of waking up to a world without you was unbearable. I spent countless nights staring at the ceiling, replaying our life together, the way you laughed when I fumbled my lines on set, the warmth in your eyes when our son was born, the way your hands still fit perfectly in mine. I reminded myself how grateful I was to have you, my sacrificing wife. The doctors said there was no hope, no cure, and no more time. Every treatment had been tried with no effect, and they found no other options to help. I struggled to accept this, yet I had to. Tears filled my eyes, but I fought to hold them back. You were so brave, looking at me calmly from your hospital bed, though your only response was a bitter smile. You held my hand tightly, and I knew you didn't want to leave me on this earth. The days without you at home felt meaningless and empty. I felt lonely in our space, terribly quiet without your voice asking me what to do. I was consumed by the fear of your passing. It was painful to see you fading away before me. How am I supposed to face that? How am I supposed to say goodbye? No, I was not a responsible man, I couldn't confront this challenge. Many dark nights, I cried myself to sleep, terrified of facing your last day. But that day came at last. The thought of our separation was a weight I could no longer bear. I missed you so much. Your photos were always in my hands, and I often looked back at the happy times we shared. In a small reminder, I told our son that my body had to be buried next to yours when I died. Just days after you were gone, I was found dead alone in the house, consumed by depression. I truly could not live without you. I was coming to meet you again, ready to guide you once more, keeping my promise to protect you beyond life and beyond death. In life, you had been my everything. Pain and sorrow faded away, and our love shone brightly in eternity.
Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, share, comment, and subscribe for more useful videos. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, share, comment, and subscribe for more useful videos.